Hey, what's up everybody? This is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's lesson we'll be checking out Somewhere Over the Rainbow. This is the pop contemporary interpretation, such as the version made famous by Israel Kamakawiwo'ole. Did I say that right? I am not sure. He's the ukulele player with the viral cover of this. I've played it at countless weddings, and we're going to be looking at the intro and the vocal melody in this video, and it looks something like this. That's the intro, and here's the vocal melody. Alright, so we'll be getting through that much in this video, but the rest of the videos with the rest of the song, including an entire melody version, as well as an entire version just for accompaniment, that's all going to be available over at HDpiano.com. So I hope to see you there after this. Alright, before I dive in, just a quick obvious question. I don't know if anybody here has been somewhere over the rainbow, but has anybody been somewhere over the Pacific Ocean, aka has anybody been to Hawaii? I personally have not been there. I would love to go. So tell me about it in the comments below if you're one of the lucky ones who has been. All right. Well, in this version, we're in the key of C, which is convenient, very easy key on the piano. And we're trying to make this sound like a ukulele. Obviously, there's some pretty serious differences that'll get in the way, but we're sticking to very simple chords. I think that's the first takeaway here. And normally we would play a C root position if we wanted to get that really like full defining sound of home bass. But because the ukulele only has 4 strings and they can only be played in such a way, we have these kind of ambiguous inversions of each chord. So we're going to emulate that for the intro. And we're not going to have any bass. We're just going to keep it very light on the piano. All right, so our first chord is C major, second inversion. That's G, middle C, and E in our left hand. And then we just change our pointer finger here to B, from C to B, and we get E minor first inversion. So we have 2 beats of C major, 2 beats of E minor, and then our bottom 2 notes come up a step to A, C, and E, and we get A minor. And then our top note goes up to F, which gives us F major. So those 2 measures, we have C major, E minor, A minor, and F major. All right, moving on, we go back to C major, and we move our top 2 notes down to G major, so our G stays the same, and we get G, B, and D. And then we scoot this shape up a step to A minor. And then we take our thumb up to G, and then we bring our thumb down to F. So it's a 5-measure intro, and we got those first 2 measures, but recapping those final 3 measures, we have C to G major, up a step to A minor 7, and then F major. So those are the chords, and that's all we need to do with our left hand in terms of notes, but there is a lot of rhythm that we have to instill into this part. This is the general pattern, right? It's got a slight swing to it, and basically we're hitting the bottom note and then responding with the top 2 notes, just like you would on a ukulele. You kind of strum down, and then you quickly strum up and down, boom, chicka, ch, boom, chicka, ch, right? Try and act that out, if you will. And see if you can get it happening for our C major chord here. So every half note we hit a G, and then we fill in the rest with our C and E. So 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, so that's our basic pattern. Now we have to make it work with each chord. So we go from C to E minor A minor to F major. Let's recap that once more, and I'll do it even a little slower. E minor, A minor, F major. All right, moving on, we go to C, now to G. Now step it up to A minor, thumb comes up to G, and then down to F for a whole measure. Okay, so there's our intro, and for the most part, that's almost all the chords we're going to need to know to get through the rest of the song. Obviously, we're going to change the way we play them later on, but for this video, that's all we need to know. So let's see, what comes next? Well, I want to point out that in case, you can probably manage this for the intro. I think for most people, this is within reach, but I have found, even for me, that playing the melody on top of this is pretty difficult because it's creates a lot of added syncopation. So to simplify, when the melody comes in, you're more than welcome to just play boom, chuck, chuck, boom, chuck, chuck, boom, chuck, chuck, boom, chuck. I'm kind of making up the chords here as I go, but point being, I'm getting rid of that 16th note moment and just replacing it with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So keep that in mind as we get into the melody. It might make things easier. So speaking of the melody, let's check it out. So this is all over the syllable oo. He's got that lovely voice and he's just feeling it, you can tell. So he starts on C, 2, E, 4, and B. So C, E, D, B, D, B, D, C. And then C, C, C. Kind of does a couple grace notes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so that's 4 measures right there. Let's look at it over some chords. We start with it over C major. Then we go to E minor. And then F. And then back to C. So that's our first 4 measures. Pretty simple. The melody is only using these 4 notes so far, and it's only going to add, looks like, 1 more note for the next 4 measures. So I'll add the rhythm into the left hand, nice and slow, and show you what that looks like. All right. And of course, remember, if that's tricky, and it certainly gets even trickier when we get into the actual melody of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you can always simplify to. All right, I'm going to carry on. Well, that's a pretty simple measure. 4 beats of F major in the left hand, and our right hand just hangs out on C. Now our next chord, every note is going to come down a half step. So we're going to get E major, and this is our first accidental, meaning a note that is not in the C major scale, and that's G sharp. So we have G sharp, B, and E, and our right hand melody starts on B. And in beat 3, we just hit D to a B. And that's 3 E and a 4. And then we go to A minor. And right there for A minor, we hit A, C, C, A. And then for F major, we hit A, C, C. And that, my friends, is the entire intro and vocal melody for Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Israel Kamakawiwo'ole. I hope I'm saying that right. And I guess I'm going to have to say goodbye for now. I'll see you over at HDpiano.com for part 2, where we're going to work on the actual melody of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. If you could like and subscribe here on YouTube while I have you here, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, that would be much appreciated so you can stay in the know about all upcoming tutorials. My name is Devin with HDpiano.com. Catch you later.